Old Town Road was inescapable in the summer of 2019. You heard it everywhere, from the various memes that it inspired to Texas Tech celebration during March Madness, and the controversy that surrounded Billboard's decision to pull it from the country charts. These were just some of the ingredients that went into making Old Town Road Billboard's Hot 100's longest #1 song at 19 weeks. Hi guys, I'm Jasmine here with Pulse, and if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe for more videos like this. But for now, let's go ahead and see how Lil Nas X made Old Town Road the longest #1 in Billboard's history. So we kind of got to talk about the previous record. For over 21 years, Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men held the record for the most weeks at #1. Largely fending off a few notable challengers from the Black Eyed Peas and their infusion of rap and electronic dance, to Wiz Khalifa and his emotional tribute to the late Paul Walker. Now, that was matched by Elton John's tribute to the late Diana, Princess of Wales, when she passed away in 1997. Even Mariah tried her hand at beating her own record with her smash ballad, We Belong Together. And then Bruno Mars teamed up with Mark Ronson for Uptown Funk at the tail end of 2014. But for one reason or another, all these hits fell short of the record at exactly 14 weeks. Too shy of the 16-week record. Then came Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee's Despacito. The reggaeton hit was originally doing well on the Hot 100 at a modest number 48 position, until a remix with Justin Bieber sent the song into stratosphere, eventually tying the overall record, despite losing steam towards the end as Taylor Swift prevented them from taking the record outright. Now, all these songs had something in common. They were either backed by well-established artists or attached to a massive movie, projects, or some kind of life event. So, just how did an unknown and unsigned 19-year-old rapper, country singer end up shattering a record that stood longer than he had been alive? Well, let's find out. The Chinese-owned video app has seen a rapid rise over the last couple of years. Now, after the death of Vine a few years ago, TikTok has happily filled the void for all of us. The short-form video app is extremely popular among Gen Z and is quietly birthing young stars. And this is where the Old Town Road story started. So Lil Nas X first uploaded the song onto the app in February of 2019, recognizing the ability to create the song into a meme. In an interview with Time magazine, he actually said, "I promoted the song as a meme until it caught on to TikTok and it became way bigger. I was familiar with TikTok and I always thought the videos would be ironically hilarious. A lot of people would try to downplay it, but I saw it as something bigger." On the app, users began using the song as a backing track as they transformed into cowboys and cowgirls after drinking Yee Yee juice. I mean, that caught on like wildfire among young teens and adults. Soon the hashtag Yeehaw would trend, sending the song onto the Billboard country charts as well as the Billboard Hot 100. His success was so monumental that the company actually invited him to their offices in China and released an official press release praising the young entertainer. Now, intentionally or not, the formula is not exactly new. The viral meme success of Psy's Gangnam Style, LMFAO's Party Rock Anthem, or Drake's Hotline Bling was already kind of like a blueprint to go off, but the uniqueness of TikTok's short-form comedic platform, as well as the rise of the app in general, lent itself to the young rapper. The song mimicked the viral success of the Mannequin Challenge that helped propel Ray Shremmerd and Gucci Mane to their first #1s by starting its own challenge, thanks largely to the TikTok fan base. But phase 2 of the track's success was just as important. The track was enjoying meteoric success as far as streams and downloads garnered from TikTok were concerned. Now, it was also climbing Billboard's Hot 100 country charts rapidly and had finally made it onto the Billboard Hot 100, resting at number 15, when Billboard made an internal decision to discontinue the song's inclusion on the country charts, deeming it a rap song with country influences. While Lil Nas X was just as happy to be on the Billboard charts, he did express his disappointment at Billboard's decision, citing that other tracks such as BB Rexa and Florida Georgia Line's Meant to Be that had an underlying trap beat, but was allowed to rule the country charts for a mind-blowing 50 weeks. And that's a long time. Billboard initially used the genre tags designated by Lil Nas X in the metadata attributed to the song, allowing it to chart on the country charts. However, as the track gained some traction, Billboard's team examined the song and they actually pulled it from the charts, citing that it was not promoted as a country song. So the company's senior VP of Charts and Data Development acknowledged the presence of Meant to Be, as well as Blanco Brown's The Get Up, as being trap influenced, but stated that both tracks were promoted directly to country radio, as well as the artist having prior country songs. The result of all this? There was an internet uproar because the track's exclusion, and yes, you guessed it, tons of free promotion, baby. Various news and entertainment outlets picked up on the story, and the track received one of its biggest endorsements, as Billy Ray Cyrus backed Lil Nas X with a number of Twitter posts, as he could relate to his outlaw vibe. So later he jumped on the track's first official remix, skyrocketing the song from number 15 to number 1 on the Hot 100, a position that would not relinquish for the next 18 weeks. Old Town Road's first week at the top was solely credited to Lil Nas X. However, the first official remix featuring Billy Ray Cyrus was released before next tracking week, and the combined streams absolutely smashed the reigning streaming record, then held by Drake's In My Feelings, which racked up 116 million weekly streams at its peak, while Old Town Road amassed 143 million. Crazy numbers! The large streaming numbers held up the song's momentum for the first 5 weeks before a remix by Diplo was released. Now at this point, some formidable challengers had begun to crop up. In week 5, Taylor Swift released music video for Me off her Reputation album. Now despite the great numbers that Swift had, including taking over as the most downloaded song of that week, Old Town Road's streaming numbers were still too much to overcome. And in successive weeks, Shawn Mendes' radio-friendly single, If I Can't Have You, Logic's collaboration with Eminem's Homicide, and the mega collaboration between Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber, I Don't Care, off Ed Sheeran's latest album, failed to unseat Old Town Road, whose streams were still well in excess of 100 million, while Sheeran had a respectable but limiting 34.1 million. By week 8, another major boost for the track came, this time in the form of its first official music video that debuted on May 17th. Now the video featured the likes of Diplo, Chris Rock, Vince Staples, and a host of other stars, giving the song a massive sales and streaming spike, resulting in the song's best numbers since week 2 at number 1. Over the next couple of weeks, the likes of Katy Perry, Cardi B, and Miley Cyrus would drop new singles, but didn't come anywhere close to challenging Old Town Road. However, at this point, a new challenger makes her way to the number 2 spot. Billie Eilish's Bad Guy rises up to the number 2 spot, a position where she would have to get comfortable with for the next couple of months. Khaled's hit single Talk would also begin to hover just below the top 2, powered strongly by its domination on radio. Now in week 12, Taylor Swift gets her rematch with Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus when her new single, You Need to Calm Down, and its accompanying music video is released, with positive messages towards the LGBTQ community, as well as a cameo and reconciliation with former pop frenemy Katy Perry. Unfortunately though, for Swift, despite overtaking Old Town Road and debuting at number 1 on the digital song charts, she can't compete on streaming or radio at this point, and has to settle for number 2 again. By this point, Old Town Road's slain challengers total 6 songs that have been kept at number 2. Also, a new record. Not even Drake's celebration of the Raptors NBA championship can come close to challenging this song, with Money in the Grave debuting at number 7. In week 13, Lil Nas X releases his EP titled 7. The usual challengers, Billie Eilish and Khaled, are still hanging around, and yet another artist attempts again to knock him off his perch, this time Shawn Mendes. 16th with Camila Cabello on Senorita, but once again they fall short of the #1 spot, debuting at #2. Over the next couple of weeks, the song fended off Post Malone's Goodbyes and most importantly, a new Bad Guy remix featuring Justin Bieber that gave Billie Eilish a significant bump. So despite Billie Eilish's best efforts, the track was able to tie Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, Louis Fonsi, and Daddy Yankee's record at 16 weeks. And yet again, another remix was released, this time featuring Young Thug and Mason Massey, a viral yodeling internet sensation. This kept people slightly more interested in the track, despite the track failing on all 3 major metrics on the Hot 100. But on August 3rd, and with no major debuts released that week, Old Town Road broke the record for the most weeks at #1 with its 17th tally at the top. Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men both congratulated Lil Nas X on his achievements on Twitter and in magazine interviews. And even Mariah teased with a possible remix collaboration incorporating both songs that actually never materialized. But just to add some gloss to the record and further extend it, another remix titled Seoul Town Road, remix featuring RM, a member of BTS, the South Korean mega boy band, was released the previous Thursday before the next tracking week. This was the last major bump the song received, helping it hold out for 2 more weeks, cause ARMY is strong, while Billie Eilish would spend her 9th and last week at #2 on the week dated August 17th. Bad Guy was also slipping in overall metrics, but Eilish would get a minor bump on the August 24th tracking week. And it was actually enough to edge her past Old Town Road and finally dethrone the now slowing giant Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus. They both congratulated Eilish on her achievements in their 10-week on and off duel for the top spot. By the time Old Town Road had spent 2 weeks at the top of the Hot 100, the song had yet to crack the top 20 of the radio charts. The earlier weeks were massively attributed to groundbreaking streaming and sales numbers, as well as the perfect storm created by Billboard's controversy. Radio finally began to pick up in the 3rd week of the song's chart reign when it finally made it into the top 20 most played songs on the radio. Now, it wasn't until the song had spent 10 weeks at #1 on the Hot 100 that it made it to #2 on the radio songs chart. The steady spins at this point kept Old Town Road well ahead of the chasing pack while still being the most streamed and most downloaded song. The Hot 100 is more prone to #1 debuts these days that would stop or break a song's chart run, but with radio's help, Old Town Road was able to fend off most of its challengers since it was still rising in that particular metric well into the middle of its chart reign, while most of the other songs would already be losing steam on radio or hadn't been added into rotation yet. By as late as its 12th week, Taylor Swift's song You Need to Calm Down simply couldn't compete with a song that was dominating streams and was still among the most played songs on the radio. In this way, radio's slow adoption of the song to its rotation inadvertently helped extend Old Town Road's run at the top. So, maybe Lil Nas X didn't expect the explosive nature of the song that he created, but the methodical release of remixes aided by Billboard's inadvertent promo for the song, as well as radio proving what a dinosaur it is in the present landscape of music consumption, helped Old Town Road permanently stamp its spot in music history. Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men set their record in the 90s, and it took 21 years to equal, and a further 2 years to break. The question is, do you think we'll ever see a 20-week #1 song? It's almost unthinkable. So let us know in the comments if you think it would be possible and who's it gonna be? Who could do it? If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and smash that subscribe button before you leave to join our community and hit the notification bell, guys, so that you stay informed and up to date when we drop new videos, because we're back. If you want to learn more about the history of Billboard charts, go ahead and click here. And if you want to look back at some of the most iconic hip-hop record labels, go ahead and check this video out as well, somewhere on the screen. It's your girl Jasmine. Stay tuned to Pulse. Peace.